Hi, Dav here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series, and today we're going to be doing a voiceover of this study sketch I did. Actually, I think in the first few strokes I did use like a flat brush, but eventually I decided to go for a Lasso fill tool, which is one of the unique things that Clip Studio has. It's the Lasso, like compared to Photoshop. I mean, yeah, there are plugins, I know, but it's just different when it's on Clip Studio Paint. And also, I did not make it full opacity, like 100%. It has like 90 or 80% opacity, so you can kind of see through the previous strokes. And in this way, you can sort of build up the shapes, the values kind of slowly. I mean, you can still use like the harder 100% opacity version, or it's just like no opacity at all, excuse me. But I just felt like adding some, because I want to see some strokes. I want to see like a layering of different shapes. And I think for a good bulk of this study of mine, it was using the Lasso fill tool, right? Or maybe maybe not the bulk, but the base. Yeah, maybe the bulk. I'm not sure, but a good chunk of it was done with the Lasso fill tools. I've used the Lasso fill tool for painting before, and I do enjoy it. And I think my style because I don't really have a style, guys. One day maybe, or I have a mix of different styles. You know what? I'll say this: I have a style right now, but it's not like as noticeable because I can go from like different brushes, different methods. So maybe I'm just one of those people who's kind of diverse. Yeah, maybe that's scope. But yeah, I did enjoy this. I just wanted to focus on like the dress. Like, how do you suggest folds? How do you give the vibe of like, how does the anatomy? Because I was interested in this reference. Yes, it's AI, but it's hot. So just this girl. I mean, you can kind of see it on the left hand side a bit. By the way, some of you do ask like what program am I using for my references. I do use PureRef. It's free. You can like donate. And yeah, I do recommend it. It's PureRef. Anyway. So yeah, I was focused mainly on the dress, but I think because I wanted to capture like because yes, it's a piece of clothing, but it's also kind of tightly wrapped to where you can see a little bit of the anatomy. So how do you draw like the skin tight sweater thing? And yeah, because I don't have to be that detailed because I'm not a detail kind of guy. You can tell. But I should at least learn how to like give the impression of like folds, right? So I was trying to sort of study that a bit. Now I did go further into the legs just a bit, but even though that wasn't the main focus, I just wanted to add it in. Maybe I was kind of procrastinating, but I don't mind it. I did enjoy doing the legs as well. You could color pick, but what I suggest when you're doing these studies, just eyeball it. Just eyeball the freaking thing. And I think by eyeballing it, you're actually training your eye to it may not be exact like the photo. You don't have to be like a machine, right? But I think it trains your eye to just see color. Because when you add the color in and you see something is off, you'll want to change it. Then eventually you will find the color, the hue that works with the proper like lightness or darkness. And that carries over, by the way, when you do paint stuff from imagination, when you're not using reference. So I think it's a good exercise. And when you're doing this, you don't need like so much hue variety. Keep it simple, right? Maybe if you're trying to study someone else's hues, sure. But if we're trying to study like a shape, some kind of shape design, like how this clothing wrap around these parts of the anatomy, like when you're focusing on these types of topics, keep your color simple. Maybe change the values, because changing the values, meaning the lightness or darkness of something, can help suggest shape, can help suggest, maybe not shape, but form, right? So that's all you need. You don't need a bunch of hue variety, right? But I also have like an abstract kind of vibe or look to my work, which I do like, and I think it comes out of me when I use the Lasso fill tool. It kind of reminds me of certain artists. I think the one that comes to mind may be who's that guy? Kobe Sek. He's like a concept artist, and I mean it's not, they use a Lasso fill tool as long, I think they use Procreate. I think Procreate has like a Lasso something, and they use it as a part of their painting. I also reviewed another guy's work Daryl Mandrick something. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right, but they're using this. I think it was a program name. I'm guessing the program's name, by the way, but I think it's High Paint, or not High Paint. It's a different program. Like it's an online painting software where it's somewhat experimental, made or designed by an artist as well. I forgot the name. But yeah, it's just a fun tool to use, and I think you're gonna enjoy it, especially for if you want to develop your accuracy, but you're somewhat of an impressionistic guy or chick. I think you're kind of doing both, because you have like a shape. It looks almost like a collage kind of piece, right? But because of the clear cut edges, it kind of helps you to become a bit more specific. But at the same time, it kind of looks, again, like a cutout filter, like a scrapbook. It has a scrapbook collage kind of vibe. So you're kind of touching on your, like painterly, impressionistic kind of side. And then eventually, once I spent quite some time with the bucket, not the bucket tool, oh my god, with the lasso fill tool. Then he went in with like a flat brush and started like sculpting the edges, cleaning things up a bit, adding some extra values in between. You could use like a blending brush, a blending tool, a mixer brush, whatever, or a soft brush to paint over like stuff, but I just felt like using a hard brush, and I think something went wrong. Well, not wrong, but I adjusted the silhouette to match her reference a bit. She does have like a thin waist and like some huge thighs. And I also added in like a line on the outside. I've seen artists do this. If you check out the art reviews, we've seen a couple of artists do this, where the line art isn't like the thing you do in the beginning. It's sort of the thing you add in the end. So it's kind of like a pseudo line art, right? They're actually painting a small line. Instead of like inking the thing like in the typical way, they add like a bold, noticeable line. Like they sculpt the line as well. But in a way, it feels more like a painting. Like they're painting the contour lines or the outer like silhouette lines instead. So, and they do it obviously after the painting. So if you're not a fan of line art, but you want that kind of vibe, just paint it after. So that's kind of a trick I've learned and seen just by watching people or artists' processes. You can only really see it if they share their videos, whether it's real time or time lapse. But once you see it, you're like, oh, not bad. You don't have to do it like the typical way. So for the painters out there, for the impressionistic folk, for the sketchy folk, that's like a secret. Shh, don't mention it. Let's keep it hush hush. You can talk about it in the comments here, but when you go to other people's channels, keep it hush hush. Hush hush. Anyway, I'm kidding, by the way. And yeah, when I cleaned up the edges, I'm still using the flat brush, and I'm not using like an eraser. You could use an eraser if you want to clean things up a lot more cleanly, but if you're just doing a study, because I have a habit on painting on one layer, sometimes it can be detrimental. Because when I start to organize stuff, the more complex I make a painting, meaning I use more layers, that habit of mine where I just select the background, it can be annoying, because obviously when you add something behind, let's say this figure, you're gonna see that white, right, at the edges. So it's a bad habit, but it is what it is. I'm who I am. I'm who I am. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and yeah. So if you want to brush this, check out my Gumroad, links below. Check out my Patreon. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't, by the way. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.